Every new character the Invincible Season 4 trailer just confirmed.
Leave no one alive.
Starting with Dinosaurus. Dr. David Anders, better known as Dinosaurus, is going to be one of the minor villains in Season 4, before developing into the main villain in Season 5. You see, he is not a conqueror or commander. He is a human scientist with a fractured mind and a very hazardous concept of what helping the world resembles, and is a genius, deeply unstable and trapped in a dissociative split that transforms him into something far worse whenever his mind drifts into boredom or emotional detachment. As David Anders, he appears forgettable. He's scrawny, plain, and easy to dismiss, the sort of man no one expects to carry apocalyptic thoughts in his head. But Dinosaurus, his alter ego, is the exact opposite. This transformation produces a red humanoid dinosaur with a heavy muscular frame. His eyes turn yellow, his mouth fills with large yellow teeth, and a long tail balances his weight. His hands and feet end in sharp claws meant for tearing through enemies. A crest rises from his head, and he wears brown pants along with armor on his lower legs, shoulders, and tail. The real conflict, as I mentioned, comes from inside his head. Anders knows Dinosaurus exists and despises what that other self does. He has no control over the change and spends much of his life confined because of actions he did not really have any control of. That makes him a tragic figure instead of a typical Marvel villain. Dinosaurus, on the other hand, feels no regret. He operates on a rigid utilitarian belief system that treats human lives as numbers on a board. In his mind, large losses today guarantee survival tomorrow. He does not see himself as cruel, but as someone who is righteous and works for the greater good of humanity. And it is this belief system that pretty much puts him at odds with every heroic value in the series. His abilities reinforce how dangerous that mindset becomes. The transformation triggers whenever Anders feels boredom or apathy, though it can be delayed through imprisonment paired with constant stimulation. As Dinosaurus, his strength allows him to shatter concrete with raw force. His agility allows for him to leap and move across high structures with ease. He can heal faster than normal by reverting to Anders and then returning to Dinosaurus. His claws and teeth work as natural weapons, though they fail against opponents far stronger than him, as proven when both break against Thragg. Dense tissue allows him to endure city-level explosions and remain active afterward. So yeah, what makes Dinosaurus unsettling is not his power alone, but the whole logic behind that power. I mean, how do you stop a being who does not crave domination or revenge, but believes that humanity needs it? How do you stop someone so dedicated and powerful?
Universa. Now, she didn't originate from our solar system, and perhaps she wasn't even from our galaxy. That's everything we understand about her background, but she was nevertheless a massive problem to handle. You see, similar to most worlds with conscious and intelligent beings, Universa's planet was experiencing energy depletion, and she came to Earth to drain our energy. And if you consider it, when discussing an energy reservoir of enormous scale in one location, nuclear facilities are the obvious choice. A single destination, so to speak. She debuted in issue 69 of the Invincible comics, where she was disclosed to be a warrior monarch from a world that was 8 times Earth's size. In fact, the storyline from the 69th issue is also part of Season 4. And at approximately 41 seconds into the new teaser, you can observe Universa assaulting a nuclear facility. And later, at roughly a minute and 45 seconds, you can witness Adam Eve and Universa engaging in a superpowered confrontation. Through their company, Invincible Inc., Mark and Adam Eve receive notification about the assault on a facility. They arrive at the location, and after discovering her predicament, Mark attempts to propose a resolution, but she declines to communicate, believing it's all pointless. Meanwhile, Adam Eve, who's battling with her abilities both in the comics and the forthcoming TV series, enters Universa's line of attack. But Mark intervenes, seizes Universa's weapon, and although he collapses from a severe electrical discharge, he succeeds in disarming Universa. And it's revealed that her weapon empowered her, and without it, she's merely as powerful as a human woman, nothing beyond. Oh, and it's discovered that her weapon is somewhat like Thor's Mjolnir, and it can only be wielded by beings selected by Universa's world deity, whatever that signifies. Naturally, Universa gets captured and detained, but her narrative doesn't conclude there. In the subsequent comics, particularly issues 82 and 144, Mark succeeds in penetrating her hardened exterior and reaching the human spirit. He urges her to return to her world, but not before charging her weapon with nuclear power. In fact, he also guarantees her a continuous energy supply for her world until a lasting resolution is discovered. She acknowledged him for who he is and for his compassion, and wishes to be able to reciprocate someday. As long as she possessed her weapon, she could fly and perform all the other superhero abilities, but yeah, she required her weapon at all times.
Zach Thompson, aka Tech Jacket. Although he briefly appeared in Season 3, Zach Thompson is going to play a much larger role in Season 4, and that's why I thought of including him in the list. So this guy starts as a normal high school kid, which makes what happens to him feel slightly unfair in the way comic book accidents usually are. He stumbles across Kilda, a dying alien from a species called Geldarians. They are brilliant engineers but physically weak. So every one of them receives a tech jacket at birth, a living battle suit that does all the heavy lifting. Kilda tries to warn Zach away, but his ship is about to self-destruct. With no other option, he orders the tech jacket to detach and bind itself to Zach. The blast kills Kilda, saves Zach, and locks the suit onto a human host it was never designed for. Of course, this strange turn of events turns Zach's life upside down. The tech jacket cannot come off now, and gives him access to what the Geldarians call the most powerful weapons in the universe. Zach saves his father from a group of thugs, which means his dad now knows the whole deal about the suit. When Zach explains what happened with the alien in the ship, things escalate quickly. The Geldarians arrive on Earth and assume Zach murdered Kilda and stole the tech jacket, and this misunderstanding drags him into their long war with the Kresh. Zach proves himself by helping the Geldarians fight back, and that changes how they see him. After learning the full story from Kilda's former tech jacket, they ask for Zach's help again, this time with a clear deal. He helps them take on the Kresh in exchange for proper training. Together, they destroy a major Kresh stronghold. Once that job ends, the Geldarians release Zach from any obligation and allow him to return home, with one request: to use their technology wisely. Home, however, does not offer peace. Zach returns to find his parents gone and their store empty. He sleeps there until the same thugs come looking again. He defeats them, forces a meeting with their boss, and convinces the loan shark to leave his family alone. The argument works because the man understands reality, and reality includes a suit nothing in this world can counter. Zach later finds his father, who had moved to protect the family. The trouble doesn't end there. The last surviving Kresh come back for revenge. Zach defeats them as well, only for his mother to arrive and see alien bodies scattered across her lawn, which must have been a bit of a shock for the lady. The tech jacket itself is the reason Zach survives all this. It facilitates flight, space travel, energy projection, extreme durability, and massive boosts to strength, speed, reflexes, stamina, and agility. Early on, it makes him roughly 100 times stronger and faster than a normal human. Because Geldarians are weaker than humans, Zach's version of the suit hits far more powerful than other suits. He tears armored Kresh apart, pushes battleships into each other, and even throws a starship into the sun. Later upgrades increase its power even more, to the point where his energy blast can punch through a Viltrumite's chest. On top of that, the suit performs nightly maintenance, destroys germs, keeps him clean, and even prevents facial hair growth, which Zach only realizes much later. Next, we have Grand Regent Thragg to be performed by Lee Pace in Season 4 of Invincible. Thragg is the primary antagonist of Invincible from Season 4 forward, and he is going to make his initial appearance in the second episode of the forthcoming season. He is the most formidable Viltrumite alive and the current Grand Regent of the Viltrum Empire, a position he assumes after the death of the first Emperor. From that moment on, his sole objective has been to advance the Viltrumite nation to its conclusion and ensure their empire becomes the only one remaining in the universe. Physically, Thragg appears exactly like what you would anticipate from someone at the pinnacle of Viltrumite civilization. He shares the same general physique as Nolan or Conquest, tall, broad, with the presence of a fully mature Viltrumite male. Oh, and that mustache, that is one well-maintained mustache. I mean, all adult males from the Viltrumite civilization have a mustache, but Thragg's will earn awards and accolades across the universe. His physique is the product of years of warfare and discipline, not excess. Nothing about his appearance is random. It's all a component of the image of authority he carries without effort. His clothing also follows comparable patterns. Early in his career as a warrior, he used to wear the standard plain white Viltrumite uniform. Once he becomes Grand Regent, the uniform transforms, but doesn't abandon tradition. The bodysuit is still form-fitting, with the circular chest emblem divided by 3 vertical lines. He pairs it with a simple gray skirt and solid gray boots. The distinction comes from color. While most Viltrumite warriors wear gray and white, Thragg replaces the white sections with deep crimson. Even before anyone understands who he is, the uniform makes it obvious that this Viltrumite operates on a superior level. Personality-wise, Thragg represents Viltrumite ideology in its most concentrated form. Power matters beyond anything else, and authority derives from strength alone. He takes satisfaction in his unrivaled combat capability and refuses to accept any challenge to it. His leadership approach is one that's equal parts calculated strategy and extreme levels of brutality, which only makes him terrifying on both a tactical and physical dimension. That said, he's not careless. He comprehends hierarchy, respects strength in others like Conquest, and acknowledges the legacy of his predecessor, Argal. His devotion to Viltrum comes from a sincere conviction that survival belongs to the strongest, and he intends to demonstrate that truth every opportunity he gets. As for his capabilities, Thragg benefits from Viltrumite physiology at its absolute zenith. Like all Viltrumites, his strength intensifies with age and experience, but he starts far ahead of the baseline. He has trained practically from birth with the singular objective of pushing his body to its threshold and then breaking past it. Superior genetics paired with relentless discipline place him above every other Viltrumite on record, so much so that the gap between him and the second strongest, aka Conquest, is also not negligible. So yeah, when Thragg enters the narrative in the second episode, the power balance is going to shift, and everyone else will have to adapt whether they appreciate it or not.
Space Racer. Space Racer appeared in Season 2, Episode 6 in a flashback, but his real appearance is going to happen in the upcoming Season 4. And although he would be a supporting character, calling him supporting is an absolute understatement and oversimplification of who this guy really is. He's an intergalactic nomad, but no one truly knows anything about him. Most beings see him like a myth, and what gives the myth its teeth is his past encounter with Nolan, who we know is one of the Viltrum Empire's greatest warriors. That meeting took place centuries ago and ended with Space Racer vanishing without any trace whatsoever, which only adds to the legend surrounding him. Visually, Space Racer is very different from your usual heroes and villains that appear in Invincible comics. He has a green, alien-like head with 3 eyes aligned horizontally, all housed inside a transparent dome helmet. His suit fits close to the body, and it has a bright yellow upper torso and arms, and a dark brown lower torso, legs, and gloves. Utility components can be found in the suit along with a chest insignia and 2 brown stripes on each upper arm. His hands are gloved, his feet are large and clawed like an animal's. Although the comics detail the things he has done, I don't want to spoil this guy for you. And as for his abilities, he has a limited form of technopathy, at least as far as equipment is concerned. With a thought, he can summon his firearm to his hand or call his space bike to him without physical contact. That connection appears exclusive to his gear, more like a bond than open control over machines. His mental discipline is also pretty fascinating and important because he's the only known being capable of using the Infinity Ray without losing control. As long as he remains focused and free from distraction, he can fire the weapon with precision. Now, if you'll remember, the Infinity Ray can erase armies, destroy suns, and kill Viltrumites, which means that having the ability to use it well is going to be crucial in the upcoming war. Then there's the bike. Space Racer rides better than anyone else in the galaxy, with control and precision that feels second nature. The bike itself can cross the furthest reaches of the universe and even beyond, which suits someone who never stays in one place. And now that I think of it, it seems like Space Racer is basically an amalgamation between Lobo and Martian Hunter from the DC Comics. Wouldn't you agree? Well, folks, these were the 5 new characters set to appear in the next season. Give your opinion in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more Invincible content.